Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a look inside the National Security Council in Washington. The president's main group for national security advice.
Right, the NSC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our source is this quick but pretty potent report. It outlines what it's calling a secret power struggle going on inside.
A power struggle at that level, that's significant.
Definitely. So our goal today is really just to unpack what this report is claiming and think about what it might actually mean.
Sounds good. It's always interesting to try and understand the inner workings, how these big decisions actually get made or don't get made sometimes.
Exactly. Okay, so the report jumps right in, describing what it calls an alleged knife fight within the NSC.
A knife fight. That's strong language.
It is. On one side, supposedly you've got Pentagon hardliners. The report says they're pushing for more aggressive action.
Okay, the hardliners. And on the other side?
State Department diplomats.
Yeah.
And they're apparently, urging caution, a more diplomatic path.
Right. That sounds like a pretty fundamental disagreement on foreign policy approach. You often see that tension, defense wanting to project strength, state wanting diplomacy first.
But this report suggests it's more than just like a healthy debate. It mentions leaks being weaponized.
Weaponized leaks. So information getting strategically shared outside the NSC to what influence the debate, gain leverage.
That seems to be the implication, using leaks as a tool in this internal struggle.
Which is, it's a tactic we've seen before in Washington, right? Trying to shape the public or political environment to favor your side's policy.
Definitely. The report also mentions a specific recent event, it doesn't say what, but that this event caused the whole situation to really explode.
Explode. So like a catalyst, something happened that brought these simmering tensions right to the surface, made them boil over.
Seems like it. A tipping point, maybe.
Interesting. Whatever it was, it sounds like it forced people to really dig in their heels.
And here's where it gets potentially more concerning. The report claims advisors are talking about policy sabotage.
Sabotage? Wow. Okay, what does that entail, according to the report?
Well, it even mentions the possibility of intelligence reports being altered. Tweaked to make one argument look stronger than another.
Ooh, altering intelligence. That's a huge accusation. If that's happening, it undermines the whole basis of informed decision-making.
Absolutely. It raises serious questions about, the integrity of the process if people are manipulating the information flow.
It really does. If you can't trust the intel, how do you make sound national security policy?
So why does this internal drama matter to, people listening? The report connects it to delays in making critical decisions.
Right. And points out that potential adversaries like China and Russia are watching closely.
Exactly. The idea is that this internal chaos, as the report puts it, could create vulnerabilities or slow down our responses when we need to be decisive.
Yeah, if you're an adversary seeing division or paralysis in a major power security council, well, that might look like an opportunity, wouldn't it?
It certainly could. It could embolden them or make them miscalculate.
Definitely risky.
And to really hammer home how serious this reported situation is, there's a quote from an unnamed official who apparently said, "We're playing chess while the NSC staff burns the board."
Wow. Burns the board. That's incredibly bleak. It suggests the internal fighting isn't just hindering strategy, it's actively destroying the ability to strategize.
Yeah, it implies the process itself is breaking down because of the infighting, like self-inflicted damage.
More than just disagreement, it sounds like dysfunction, if that quote is accurate.
So just to wrap up the core claims from this report, we're hearing about a deep power struggle in the NSC, fueled by differing views from the Pentagon and State Department, possibly involving weaponized leaks, maybe even policy sabotage.
And potentially leading to decision-making paralysis at a critical time, with a pretty stark yearning from someone supposedly on the inside about burning the board.
Right. It paints a concerning picture.
It really does. And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? When you hear about this kind of reported friction, this intense conflict at the very top, especially around national security, what does that make you consider about how stable, how effective our government's decision-making really is in such a complex world? What are the downstream effects when the strategic center seems to be fighting itself? Something to mull over.